Delighted to be here today, and thanks to the Radio Centre for having me. It's always brilliant to attend one of their conferences and see a room full of passionate audio enthusiasts. Most of you will know Tetley. I mean, this basically is Tetley's Christmas Day. Favourite day of the year, bar none. In this session, I am going to do a little bit of future gazing as we look ahead to Audio 2030. I am going to go a little bit back to the future, and this is exactly how smug I would look if I was getting into a time-travelling sports car. I hate that photo. But I'm going to start by having a little game. I'm going to be showing what AI thinks time will do to some of my fellow presenters today. Here's a look at Tyler in 2030. He still got it right. Aging like a fine wine. Yeah. What about Matt Payton? You see, I can only assume that ChatGPT thinks being a CEO is a stressful job. So I'm sure the idea of it jumping into a future that's free of Trump, free of rising costs, and for me, West Ham not being a certain candidates for relegation, is something that we occasionally dream about. But what might it look for all of us in audio, media, and advertising? So, despite all the chaos and uncertainty of recent years, it has been a great time to be in audio. Yes, the media landscape is fraught and it's unpredictable, and there are certainly significant challenges ahead. But audio should be optimistic and feel positive about the future. And my evidence for that? Well, my evidence is based on our past. If we stop for a minute and think about the seismic change media has gone through over the last few decades, the rise of the tech platforms and of social media, change so rapid that we see billion-dollar platforms come and go in the space of a few years. And a UK ad market where well over 50% of spend is now with Meta and Alpha, two platforms that did not exist at the turn of the millennia. But despite this, radio has navigated the change and adapted to the times. So when I left the Guardian newspaper in 2012, whose home we are in now, to join Absolute Radio, radio itself was seen just as a box in the corner of the kitchen or on AM and FM in cars. And people questioned why I would want to leave a digital pioneer to come and work in a legacy platform that was not seen as having an exciting digital future. Now, that view, in my belief, has totally changed. Radio has transformed into audio, and its reputation has flourished. We are now found in phones, apps, and smart speakers. Audio is wherever our listeners want it to be. While other platforms have struggled to adapt, radio has gone from strength to strength, with consistent growth in listening, regardless of all technology changes. And from a commercial perspective, audio's revenues have grown in a market where other legacy media, including newspapers, have struggled. No matter what changes, audio finds a way to adapt and to thrive. But what media trends might we see coming up? Well, I have a few predictions for audio in 2030. So we all know the algorithm has changed media. Shared moments of mass consumption are reduced, and we now live within deeper, more cultivated individual feeds of content. I won't start the complex debate on whether this is a good thing for audiences and wider society, but I may come back to that later. But we now exist in a landscape where everything is personalized to the individual based on data and algorithms. Now, I should say, audio does still speak to the nation and uniquely offers moments of mass connection on a distinctly personal level. For example, you may be listening to the Dave Berry Breakfast Show alone in your car, but you're connected with the Breakfast Show team and the millions of listeners participating in the morning's big talking points, features, and games. But in the coming years, shows even like Dave's, while still broadcasting to millions, will become increasingly personalized as listening on connected devices grows further. As you can see, listening on connected devices is consistently growing, a trend which I believe will intensify over the next decade. Smart speakers are now built into our lives. not just in standalone speakers, but functionally in our homes, devices, and cars. And I know Radio Player are here today, and they're working with audio owners like Bauer to build a strong future-proof product for in-car listening. And with 5G, and eventually 6G, when it becomes standard across the nation, this will enhance the in-car product and build connected listening further. Ultimately, more digital listening on devices will deliver a more personalized audio product. So on air, you'll still get the great same shows, but tailored to your tastes. Musical choices will be more customized to what we know you like. News and weather will be specific to you and your region and your interests. Show engagement will deepen with less friction when interacting with your favorite presenters. Additionally, the advertising experience will develop. As we know more about the listener, we can offer a highly targeted commercial environment. And at Bauer, this will be delivered through high-quality first-party data in our AudioXi product. As sound becomes ever-present in every device, in 2030, it will be more vital that all brands have a clear sonic identity. They need to know exactly what their tone should be, have consistent voice and music, and be ready for the possibilities that synthetic audio can open up. Now, whilst human creativity will remain key, the use of large language models like ChatGPT as a tool to refine copy and workshop concepts will become part of the creative process for many. Models will use data from libraries of successful work to help enhance projects such as script writing. So over the last decade, we have seen huge innovative creativity in the audio industry, from ad personalization to smart speaker engagement. And as we gather data, more data on a growing number of listeners, the quality of personalized audio ads will grow. A core creative concept can be adapted using LLMs and produce an infinite number of customized executions. So this tech, combined with synthetic voices, which, as discussed previously, are rapidly improving, will take audio targeting to a new level. And I should flag, the topic of voice is complex and delicate. Audio's greatest asset is the voices which connect with our audiences, and we must protect that above all else. But this doesn't mean that synthetic voices and voice cloning don't have a role to play, but consent, attribution, and voice rights are clearly fundamental. Recently, there's been a concerning number of cases arise where voiceover artists have had their voice used without the necessary permissions or compensation, which it simply isn't right. That said, when adopted ethically, the new frontier of voice will create hyper-personalization within ads and almost certainly in programming too. Now, this enhanced personalization and innovative creativity we will see over the coming years is possible due to audio holding richer, more connected data sources. Advertisers will have access to cross-reference data sets that combine demographics, behavioral signals, and contextual insights. This combination will enable predictive buying behavior at a far more precise level, helping brands anticipate not just who their audience is, but when and how they are most likely to respond. And at the same time, formats themselves are evolving. Brands can layer on top of their traditional airtime campaign with immersive, interactive ad experiences that encourage active participation. Now, this could be virtual stores, branded sonic experiences, and voice-engaged technologies which allow listeners to instantly interact with a brand. And audio, in my view, has a natural advantage here, as smart speakers and in-car voice systems enable consumers to respond and engage without any friction. Additionally, measurement and optimization are set to become more sophisticated. With the rise of data clean rooms and privacy-safe sharing of first-party data, brands will be able to merge insights from multiple sources without compromising that crucial user trust. Now, this will unlock ultimately omni-channel planning, where audio no longer sits in isolation, but works in tandem with other media to deliver incremental reach and increasingly measurable outcomes. Now, you might be surprised that I'm well over halfway through this presentation. I haven't really delved into AI yet. And I know for some, including me, that phrase brings a sense of fear, but we really do need to get over that, as AI is embedded in almost everything that the future of media has to offer. And it's certainly driving nearly everything that I talk about today. AI is creating tools to enhance what we do. And of course, there are challenges and risks associated with its adoption, especially when you remove too many layers of human involvement. But when used effectively, it will simply improve the products that we have to offer to listeners and to advertisers. Now, there are some revolutionary new innovations emerging. For example, through breakthroughs in translation, which can happen in real time, enabling a live conversation between two different languages. These linguistic developments will pave the way for incredibly exciting new projects, some of which we can't even attempt to understand yet, but could include the translation of international audio projects such as podcasts, and commercially using successful creative in multiple markets. As an industry, I'm convinced that we need to continue to unlock AI in a safe and reasonable way to create deeper connections with our audiences and our advertisers. And even how audio is defined will continue to evolve, with the 360 nature of the audio product meaning our content is both a brilliant listen, whilst also being visually incredibly strong. We need to meet audiences wherever they are, whether that's in ears, seen in social feed, or via new tech, such as wearables. Plus, I do anticipate the continued growth of the experience culture, connecting with audiences through events and live movements, whether that's in real life or increasingly in a virtual world, blending new technologies with the thirst for real-life experiences. Now, one area commercially that really excites me is the spend that AI will help us unlock from small businesses in the UK. Currently, such businesses pretty much feel trapped to spend with the tech giants who can offer cheap production cost and no minimum spend. And whilst audio has massive benefits to advertisers, there is a barrier for some smaller operations. But that will change as new technology will enable small businesses to create copy quickly and cost effectively. Now, this is not a route that established bigger brands will necessarily choose, in a similar way to how a local business may use Facebook-generated ad creative when a household brand won't, despite it basically being Zuckerberg's dream. The ads are undoubtedly less creative and a more simplistic option, but AI creative, powered by human intelligence, combined with supercharged targeting across digital listening, will open up audio to a whole new set of advertisers. Put simply, a furniture store in Chesterfield with an ad budget of, say, £1,000 a month will be able to create a strong audio spot cost-effectively with the assistance of AI creative. We can then unlock a hyper-targeted audience in their desired location across our audio platforms, and at Bauer, across publishing and out-of-home audiences too, helping the business reach their exact customers on trusted, effective, and brand-safe advertising environments. Now, SMEs account for about 45% of digital ad spend in the UK, which equates to a massive £10 billion a year. When they can cost-effectively unlock the power of audio, targeting the audiences that matter to them, I'm confident that we can bring in thousands of new customers to our platforms. I know that many SMEs feel trapped spending with Meta and Google. Advertisers are aware of the negative impact the platforms are having on society. So I'm sure that the prospect of spending in audio, doing societal good, whilst delivering business impact, will be a recipe for success, unlocking trusted, effective media space for businesses across the UK. And closing, I think it's really important to take a minute now and look to 2030 to imagine what the media landscape could look like if the tech giants continue to run riot over our industry. We are faced with an advertising apocalypse if the alarming growth in spend with the likes of Meta, X, and TikTok doesn't stop. As you've seen, audiences still love audio, and it's proven to deliver for advertisers. But if over half of the UK spend is with Meta and Alpha, who are recognised to have a detrimental impact on both its users and the brand safety of advertisers, then we risk eroding trust in advertising itself. Now, I have real concerns for the future if we don't address the unchecked power of the tech giants. And frankly, given their leaders' access, their leaders seem to have access in the White House, along with the billions that they are pouring into UK infrastructure, I do believe it's down to advertisers to demand the change that we simply won't see from governments. The mental health of millions of individuals are at risk, and we are at a real danger of the proliferation of misinformation causing continued unrest and deepening extremist beliefs, which are currently damaging our society and we see virtually on a daily basis. If investment is removed from trusted media platforms in place of chasing the quick buck of social media, then the impact on our industry and wider society will be seismic. Historically, advertising funded the arts, supported cinema, and developed music and culture. Adland simply must not fall asleep at the wheel with its blind investment in tech platforms and let UK culture and society be eroded by the likes of Elon Musk. But despite my concerns, I strongly believe that the future of audio will be an incredibly positive one. Advertisers are beginning to wake up to the reality that it matters where they put their money. And I hope the tide will turn in favour of a more sustainable approach to marketing investment, which, combined with increased spend from SMEs, will further grow audio in the years to come. Audiences will continue to need radio and podcast, providing human connection in an increasingly artificial environment. Humanity will become more important than ever before, and audio in 2030 must embrace and protect the human connections that make it so special. Now, how people consume audio may change, but the role it plays in uplifting, informing, and entertaining will play a vital role in the nation's lives in 2030 and way beyond that too. Thank you.